what's going on, everybody? I'm very excited. We've got a great guest this week. This gentleman I have worked with several times. He's a terrific stand-up comedian. He's a TV host. He's got a YouTube channel. He is all the way from England, from Britain. Those are in the same, you know what I mean? There was no need to say both of them. That's where he's from. He now resides in Niagara Falls, Ontario. One of my favorite comedians, a guy who does only puns. He does puns. Do you know how hard that is to make an audience laugh using puns? And he does it consistently night after night. And I could not be a bigger fan of this gentleman. And I know you guys are going to love him. We had a great chat, got through a lot of things, found out a lot about the one and only, that's not true, there's probably a lot of people, named David Green. David Green, it's a pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming out all the way from. Where were you from? Where were you born?
Born Nottingham.
Born in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Nice. I love the way you say it. And so you were born there in England, right? Mm-hmm. And moved here when you were how old?
I moved to Canada originally. I was 13.
13.
Yeah.
So do you remember a lot from like your days growing up in England?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What's your favorite? Your favorite thing there? What was the best part?
I enjoyed playing on the football team, like elementary school.
Right.
Yeah. Although it's not called elementary school.
It was the same team, played football and soccer.
Yeah. But we didn't really play football. Rugby.
Right. Okay. Rugby and soccer.
Yeah, and cricket.
And cricket.
Yeah.
Wow. So the rumors are true.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're like a walking stereotype. I love that, man. What's England like? What's Nottingham like? What's the difference?
People are different. It's just the architecture and just how just looks English. It's just a little bit different. But just how the people are that's the main difference, I feel.
Right. What do you mean? Like, how are they?
I don't know. Yeah. There's like sometimes more social and friendly but in a different way. Like Canadians are like super friendly, and just how they interact is just, I don't know, hard to put into words really.
Like the English people, it's different how they interact.
Yeah, well, when they're dealing with strangers and when they're dealing with like good friends, or just how they act and just
right.
Yeah.
How do they deal with strangers?
Because a lot of the time, really all there is to do is go to the pub. It's like, what are you gonna do? You go down to the pub and have beers, and you're hanging out with friends, and like funny stuff comes up. But, like, it's like kind of, it's not everybody just goes to the bar, or there's other things people do, you know.
Like shows and stuff. What else? First of all, how big is not Notting? How do you say it properly?
Nottingham.
So it's not Nottingham.
No.
Okay.
No,
Do you get angry when people would say that?
I used to, not anymore. Now,
not anymore.
Yeah.
And how big?
Not
is
angry, but annoyed. It's like
right. So if you hear it now, what do you do?
I just let it slide.
Right.
The amount of times people confuse Nottingham and confuse it with Notting Hill, like the Hugh Grant, Julia Roberts movie.
Right.
And which is in London. It's like nowhere near Nottingham. And they're they like the Hugh Grant, and then like. Yeah.
Where is Nottingham?
Nottingham. Nottingham. Yeah.
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Do you say the
Nottingham.
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 Okay, Nottingham. Where is it? In
the East Midlands.
Okay, and how big?
Like 2 million, but I know that's a complete guess. I don't know if that's true at all, but
okay.
But I'm guessing, yeah.
But it's big.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's
major
major city. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How many people live in England? Like how many people are there?
I think 60 million.
60 million.
Yeah,
okay.
I think maybe I don't know. At some point it was 60 million.
Interesting. Okay, so you're living in Nottingham. You're playing till you're 13.
Until I was 11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where do you go?
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's what
when
I thought
you're
too.
11.
Yeah.
Why?
My dad sold his company, and we went to Spain. He wrote a novel.
What was his company?
Like a health insurance company.
He sold it.
Yeah.
And to people in Spain, or he just sold it?
People who were working with
in Nottingham.
Yeah.
And then said, "I'm out. I don't want to be here anymore."
And just when he wanted to write a book, and he went to Spain and
wanted to write a book.
Yeah. So that's what
he
did.
Just. Fuck this, I'm going to Spain to write a book.
Yeah.
Can't write one in Nottingham. Is he writing a book about Spain?
No, not at all. But it's about traveling all around Europe. And actually it is. It starts in Spain, so yeah.
Then where does he go? By the way, did he write this book?
Oh, yeah. And,
what's the book called?
That one was called 32 Red.
30. That one.
Yeah.
How many books has this guy written?
3, I think.
Your father has written 3 books.
Yeah.
Holy shit! What's his name?
David Green.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
So you're David Green Jr.?
David B. Green on the book.
And you're David C. Green.
No, W.C. Green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
W.C.
W.C. Yeah.
Right. Wow. So your dad sells his company, moves to Spain to write the first of what will be a trilogy of books.
Yeah.
In Spain. And how long are you there for?
2 years.
2 years in Spain to write that
Yeah.
book? Did you write the whole book?
Yeah.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
Just from Spain, or did he travels around?
Mainly just Spain.
And you're 11.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Are you going to school?
No, homeschooled.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck? By who?
My mother.
Your mother?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So your mom's homeschooling you at 11 years old in Spain.
Yeah.
Is she teaching you Spanish?
My dad taught me some. Yeah, but yeah.
So
just focus on all the books.
Your mom takes a lunch break and your dad comes in and teaches Spanish?
Yeah.
Wow. And so you're and when do you come to Canada? 13.
Yeah.
So are you in Spain 11 to 13?
Yeah.
And being homeschooled the whole time?
Yeah.
Were you homeschooled in Nottingham?
No.
What the fuck is
That's it.
going on here? So you're going to regular school,
Yeah.
private school or
Regular school. Yeah.
public school?
Yeah. Heathland's first school.
His
It was
first?
62 people in the whole school.
2 million people live in there, and there's 62 people in your school.
Yeah, well, I lived in like a small village called Rainworth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so like Nottingham was a big city, but we were in like a small village. Yeah, it was a tiny school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you're going to that school till you're 11.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to Spain. You leaving friends?
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, is that rough
Yeah.
for you? What's that
yeah,
like?
it's traumatic and it's a big culture shock, huge culture shock. Like, okay, what's going on? But
Are you, because I know you have brothers and sisters, so you're 11. How old are they?
my older sister is 16, and then 2 9-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and a
Holy shit.
5-year-old, 4-year-old.
And they're all, so do you all go to school? Do you all, in Nottingham, are you all going to school?
Well, we're all, yeah.
And same school?
Yeah, eventually I went to a middle school. They have a third school, a middle school, and then a high school.
Right.
Yeah, so I was in the middle school at the time.
You're in the middle school.
Yeah.
The other kids are going to school. Then all of a sudden, now we're not going to school. We're not living here anymore. And we're going to fucking Spain.
Yeah, like right on...
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, completely.
Who's your best friend at this time?
Simon Duffy.
Still talk to him?
Yeah, no, don't talk to him, but yeah. But I'd like, when I moved back years later, and like, yeah, shocked the hell out of him. He didn't believe it.
What is that like for you and Simon Duffy? At 11 years old, you got to say, hey, Simon, not only will I not be at school on Monday, I won't even be in this country. I'm going to Spain. My dad is writing a book. Do the kids even believe that? Like,
No,
what
no.
do people think?
No, they don't believe it.
They hear the Green family, all of them, is fucking off to Spain. This guy sold his business. People are probably thinking you're in trouble with the law or something, right? Because that doesn't even sound real.
Yeah.
Who just decides that one day? Fuck this. I'm gonna write a book, and I can't do it here. All of us. So what do you say to Simon Duffy? What's that conversation like?
Yeah, I know. Well, right. that was the agreement.
Right?
Yeah, we're gonna write letters, but I think that lasted for one letter, and then that was it.
Were you emotional about it?
No.
Were you like
A little bit.
crying
No,
when
no.
you're talking to Simon, or no?
No, but it was a sad time.
Do you remember the time? Do you remember the moment your parents told you? How did they even tell you this is happening?
To be honest, I can't. I don't know about that exact memory.
You don't. You
No.
don't have the
Is
moment.
it the part
of
where
like,
I'm supposed to break down? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's so. Off you go. You're 11.
Yeah.
You leave your whole. You leave Simon Duffy. You leave a bunch of friends, all your friends.
Yeah.
How are your siblings taking this? Because you got one older sister.
Yeah.
Everyone else is younger.
Yeah.
How's everyone handling this?
At the time, like, I'm 11. I don't even notice.
And
Paying
are your-
attention to what.
Like,
is happening.
I don't know if I don't think I've ever met your parents, but are they like the type of people who are sitting you guys down individually to see how you're feeling?
No.
So they're just like,
no.
hey, kids, guess what? We're going to Spain.
Yeah.
And everybody just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So is everybody like, do you remember the day you left? Do
Yeah,
you remember
yeah.
walking out of that house?
Yeah.
Is that the house you grew up in?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
You grew up in that house. 11 years of your life memories in this house at 11.
Yeah.
16 is the oldest,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how's your sister like coping with this at the time? Is she the type of sister that's like to you like, hey little buddy, it's going to be okay? Or is that not the family dynamic?
No.
Nobody's talking about it.
No, not at all.
That's the thing. Nobody's talking.
Yeah.
We're just going. Everybody's upset. Nobody's talking about it. Fascinating. Okay. And so now you're off to Spain. What was that? What's that like? You remember getting there? Do you remember the first few days?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah, awesome. Just totally different and just
So right away you're like, oh shit, this is wicked.
Yeah, because we had literally a villa like overlooking like the beach was like 100 yards away. Like you could see it from where the balcony.
Right.
And you just walk down to the Mediterranean, like.
Right. Simon Duffy doesn't have a fucking villa. Yeah. So who gives a shit? I'm here in a villa in Spain. And does that immediately happen? You show up, you see the villa, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And what's who makes the decision and why is the decision made that it's homeschooling?
I'm not sure.
And is that just you or is that everyone?
Everyone. Yeah.
Are we doing this again?
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry, David. Every episode, it seems, this guy's got some drink he can't open before we fucking start. 35 minutes we sat here before we started recording, and this guy had all the time, and then he waits till we're in the middle of a conversation. This guy's about to cry. He's just got to Spain. He's seen his new fucking villa, and this guy's like, time for a Red Bull.
You're bringing Simon Duffy up to me.
Christ's sakes. Speaking of Simon Duffy, ladies and gentlemen, get him in here. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh, shit. We should have thought that through. So you're all homeschooled from... What is it, 7 up to 16?
Yep.
So all together? Because you can't be learning the same stuff.
Yeah, no, different
So
stuff.
what are you taking shifts? How does that work?
No,
Go to your room
it's all
and then...
books, like read the book and do what the book tells you to do. And
Wow.
Yeah.
Was your mom a teacher?
No.
She just decided... What did she do in England?
Stay at home mom.
Stay at home.
There's 6 kids, so.
6 children, stay-at-home mom,
Yeah.
and now you're in Spain and she's staying home and obviously... But your dad's home too because he's writing a book.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So you're all there for 2 years. Then what happens?
Then my dad finishes the book and then he's like, okay, what do we do now? Then goes off to Canada for a few weeks by himself and then gets a job and comes back and takes
By himself?
Yeah.
Where? What part of Canada?
Montreal.
Goes to Montreal.
Yeah.
Comes back with a job.
Yeah.
Doing what?
International health insurance.
Insurance, where he started
Yeah.
because he had the business.
Yeah.
Then he sold it. Then he writes a book in Spain. Now you're off to... So you moved to Montreal
Yeah.
at 13.
Yeah.
Now are you still homeschooled
No.
at this time?
No. I mean,
No, now
school
you're...
again for the first year.
Now you're in school.
Yeah.
Why is that decision made?
So it just makes sense. Yeah, I just thought we'd just have a hard time getting put straight into a Spanish school because it's all Spanish and you're not going to understand anything.
I see.
So
Right.
we'll just teach you a bit. And once you get to Canada, like you go back to school.
Sure. Okay. And what's that like? You're now in Montreal. Have you gotten to really enjoy Spain for the 2 years you've been there?
Oh,
and
yeah,
now you're
yeah.
being ripped out of another home.
Yeah.
What's that like for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Second time, is
Big
it better or worse?
It
Or
was cool.
easier
It's
or
cool.
harder? I should say.
I don't know. Cooler. It was just completely different, but just
Now
you
you're
realize when
13.
you get to the back in a school with other people how much you've not learned in that 2 years because you've not been interacting with kids for the last 2 years.
Do you have a Simon Duffy in Spain now?
No.
Nobody in
just
Spain that you're leaving.
Random people, football people played soccer.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're playing soccer
Yeah,
there.
that's pretty much all
Then
we're
all
doing.
of a sudden, 13, your dad says, all right, wrote the book,
Yeah.
lived in Spain.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go to Montreal. I'm going to get a job. By the way, I'd love to have your dad on as a guest because this guy sounds like a fucking legend. David Green Sr. If you're out there, David Green Sr., come on the show, man. This is fucking fascinating what you've put your family through to live your dreams, goddamn.
That's what you said that, because guess who we have here? No.
Wouldn't that be incredible? Your dad is here with Simon Duffy. So now you're 13. You're leaving Spain. You're going to Montreal.
Yeah.
Now you're going back to school, which is an exciting time. And now, how long are you in Montreal for?
About a year and a half.
And then where do we go? What's your dad looking to do now?
We just moved to a different company in Oakville. That's where we moved to.
Ontario.
Yeah.
So now you go Montreal. Now, do you have a Simon Duffy in Montreal?
Yeah.
Okay. And this whole time, are you still talking to Simon Duffy?
Not really, no.
No. One letter, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. And now today, does he still live in Nottingham?
Yep.
And you still keep in touch?
Not keep in touch with, we're Facebook friends. And,
friends, and if anything, yeah. So you're still civil to each other. He's not sitting around going, I can't believe David Green. All those years ago, we had this whole fucking friendship, and he tells him he's going to Spain. It's bullshit. So he's still cool. Everything's cool. So now you're in Oakville. You're what are you now? 15. Now you're in Oakville. You're going to high school now and public school.
Same high school as Donovan Bailey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that?
Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I was only there like 9 months, but I made a lot of good friends.
You're there 9 months in Oakville.
Yeah.
Now what happens?
Then we go to Gananoque.
Why?
Just move job.
Again, with your dad, like the insurance stuff.
Yeah.
So now he's being transferred, or he's working for a different company?
Different company.
Different company.
Yeah.
Not happy.
No.
This guy is unfucking real. I love this guy. So now you're in Gananoque, which is, I guess,
same high school as Todd Van Allen.
Great.
Yeah.
The Donovan Bailey one is far more impressive. I'm just kidding, Todd. I love you. So you're now in the Gananoque region. How long are you at this place for? And what are you now? 15, 16?
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we didn't stay there for too long either. Less than a year again. And then moved to Hudson, and then
Hudson is where's that?
Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're back in Quebec.
Yeah.
New company again?
I'm not sure. No, I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Has it ever occurred to you at any point that your dad was not involved in insurance, and this is something way different?
That's always the running gag, especially in Oakville, that my dad was a spy.
Right. Right. Because none of this adds up to insurance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Usually people get those insurance jobs, they write it out. You got residuals coming, and you got all that shit. But this guy has a carefully constructed ruse telling people he's in insurance. This guy's all over the goddamn map.
Well, it's not really like it's working for the. It's like sets up like an insurance will come and he'll set up a side branch of like international insurance for all them, and once it's set up, then he moves on and does have somebody else. It's like a freelance type thing.
Sets up international insurance. That's what he's setting up. He comes in and sets up an office, and then mysteriously he just leaves town. Now, where is he now? When's the last time you talked to him? Do you even have his phone number?
Oh.
You don't, right? You gotta send a message somewhere. He's got to meet you somewhere, right? Oh, this guy's fucking fascinating, man. So now what happens after Gananoque? We go to Hudson, Quebec, right? Yeah. And then where are you after that?
McDonald High School.
McDonald High School.
In Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue.
And that's Quebec also? Okay. And then are you there for the rest of the high school term?
Yeah, and then CJEP.
And what's this doing to you as a young man, teenager, right? You're moving around all over the place. Never really, like, as far as friends go, are you making friends? Or are you just like, hey, I'm not going to be here that long? Like, how's this affecting you?
It's different. Like, you're in different places. Like, sometimes you're the cool guy and you're making friends. Sometimes you're not the cool guy, and just people, how the school culture in the school is just different.
Where were you the coolest?
I don't know, maybe Oakville.
Oakville, you were the cool guy.
Not the cool guy, but I had a bunch of weird nicknames, and we had a lot of good friends.
What was your nickname?
We're not getting into those.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
That's the off-limit stuff.
Are you serious?
No, Crumpets, I believe, was one.
Crumpets?
Crumpets was one, yeah.
Okay, because you're British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lil Wee, which...
Little Wee.
Lil Wee. But it's something to do with the monkeys or something, but...
Okay. In Crumpets, Crumpets
but only
and
like
Wee.
different pockets of people called me things, like different stuff.
Right.
And
So you're
Fetus
walking
Head
down
was the other.
What was the other one?
Fetus Head.
Fetus?
And then just Fetus is what it was shortened to.
Fetus
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, because apparently the Simon Duffy of the time said that I had a head, small head, like the shape of a fetus.
Right, so you got oh, wow. So a small head in the shape of a fetus.
Yeah. The size, maybe not the shape, but the size.
So you're walking down the hall, and some of the people are yelling, "Hey, what's up, Crumpets?" And other people are yelling "fetus" at you.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And
Confusing
are
times.
you? And this is all. People are doing this, like lovingly. This
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
"fuck you, fetus."
No,
This is hey, yeah, that's fetus. People are throwing a party saying is fetus coming.
I don't know about too many parties, but
Not a party.
yeah, no.
No. What kind of guy were you as a kid, as a teenager, particularly?
In that period of time,
Yeah.
played a lot of GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, and
Okay, so you're a video game type of guy.
that Nintendo 64. There's probably not other than that any other consoles, not really, but
Right.
Nintendo 64 I played a lot of.
And are you playing with a bunch, like with a group, or
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you
and friends, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
siblings.
Crumpets is kicking ass.
Yeah.
Right, and then is that and so that's in Oakville,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. Now we're to Quebec, and you're finishing off the high school life, right?
Yeah.
What is the high school experience like there? Are you still Crumpets? Do they know
No.
Do they know the legend that is Fetus, or,
No.
or what kind of
No,
people
no.
are we dealing with there?
No, there was Mensa Dave to a few people, but yeah.
What?
Mensa Dave,
What is that?
because Mensa, it's like a smart person
Oh,
organization.
Mensa.
Yeah, Mensa.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I took an IQ test when I was like 10 or something, and apparently scored pretty high. And then, yeah, so
When you were 10.
yeah, I think 9 or 10.
And how did those people find out about it?
Like through the school, I think.
So people had access to your records
I think so.
and said this kid took an IQ test when he was 10.
Yeah.
He's a fucking genius.
I think it was like the top 1% of the IQ. I think he's
You're in the top 1%
not nearly now, but apparently back then.
when you were 10.
Yeah, but that could have been a lie. Maybe it's just a test to get money. Right.
Right. So you become Mensa Dave
Yeah.
at this school because you're a gifted 1%er.
No, I'm not. Just that story came up in one time, and then just some people started calling me that.
And in again, lovingly, they're not mocking you.
Yeah, no.
And so where do you graduate high school?
From there,
From there.
MacDonald High School.
And then what happens at the end of that high school?
Then you go to CJEP, which was literally right next door.
And this is like a college?
Yeah, it's like a pre-college that they do in Quebec.
Okay. And how long are you there for?
Less than a year.
What are you taking?
Business administration.
What was your goal?
Become self-employed.
An entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Didn't know what?
No.
You doing any stand up at this point?
No.
Okay. So and this is after high school. So what are you, like 19?
Yeah.
So you're 19. You're there for a year.
Yeah, not quite a year.
Not quite a year. And so by the time you're 20, where are you going now?
BC.
BC.
Yeah.
And is that again with the family, or is this you
With
now?
the family, yeah.
With the family,
Yeah.
because something insurance-wise is going on out in BC. So now we got to go out there, David Green, the senior, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so now we've got to travel across the country and hide out in, work in BC, right? And so what part of BC are you going to?
Souk.
Souk?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And where is that?
On the island.
On the island, yeah. So you're on the island in a small town. I'm going to guess this is
on
a
a
very
mountain,
small...
yeah.
On a mountain?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, everyone needs insurance when they live on a mountain. You might fall off that fucking mountain, and now what are you going to do, right? So your dad's selling insurance on the side of a mountain in Souk, wherever the fuck that is. And now, what are you doing, 20 years old? 20, right?
No, 19.
19,
I think, yeah, 19.
living out here, and now you're going to school?
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm going adult education.
Adult education. Being educated to be an
Yeah.
adult.
Yeah.
And what are you doing there?
Because I got screwed over with because we were in Ontario, which goes to grade 12. And
Right.
then I moved to Quebec right at the end of the year.
Okay.
And then So I had to graduate that year, but I didn't have, because the credits are higher when you, just certain credits, because I missed a year's worth of credits in Ontario.
Sure.
So when I graduated from Quebec, I didn't have enough credit. I had to take physics without being in the class. Like, given the book, I said I could take the exam to get enough credits to graduate, but there were still other classes I didn't have enough credits to get into CEGEP. But when I moved back to BC, which that was like grade 12, so I couldn't get into university because I didn't have the grade 12 math or the grade 12 English.
So now you got to take adult education. For how long?
A year.
And are you with, like, older people?
Yeah. So all different ages.
All different ages.
Some
and
my
now
age
who
too.
are you? Are you Crumpets? Are you the fetus? Are you Mensa? Are you just Dave, the son of an insurance salesman, lives up on the mountain? That's you.
So we didn't live on the mountain then. We moved down into Victoria.
You're back in Victoria now. Couldn't live on the mountain for very long because eventually the enemy will find you. So now we got to duck back into Victoria. I see what's going on. And so now you're 21. You got all your credits.
Still 19.
It's 19. No, but when you're done, done how old are you when you're done the adult education? When are you an adult?
Yeah, not 19.
19. So you're done at 19.
Yeah.
And now what do you do?
Then I moved back to England.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, back to see Simon Duffy.
Yeah.
Is this when you surprise him?
Yep.
What's that meeting like?
It's downtown in a bar.
Did you know he was going to be there?
No.
And he doesn't know you're going to be there.
No.
This guy hasn't seen you since you were 11 and walked out of his life to go to Spain for insurance. No, sorry, to write a book, right? Probably the hand fucking manual for how to be a spy. And so now all of a sudden here you are back to Nottingham?
Yeah, but Ravenshead.
What?
Ravenshead.
What's that?
That's where I lived.
Ravenshead? Mm-hmm. Was that a town?
Near Nottingham. Yeah. A village. Okay. Yeah.
This is the village.
Yeah.
Back to the village.
Yeah.
And you walk into a pub, and do you see Simon Duffy right away? What's the meeting like?
I don't know. Weird.
Weird how?
It's just strange.
He's upset. I can't believe you walked out of my life all those years ago. We said we'd write. I've been writing letters, sending them to Spain. They keep coming back saying you're not there anymore. You go, oh, well, my dad's selling insurance all over the fucking place. I live on a mountain now. That's
pretty weird? Much it. Yeah.
And so so it's weird the whole night?
No, it was just it was a brief encounter. Yeah.
Okay. And so and then that's it.
Ran into each other a few times, yeah.
But not back to being buddies.
No.
Not friend. Not like, hey, Simon Duffy, I've been missing one of you, right? You don't come back and say, by the way, call me fetus now. No?
No.
If you don't mind, I prefer crumpets. Do you mind calling me? So now and what are you doing now? You're back living in Ravenshead?
Yeah, I'm working at the Hut. Yeah,
the Hut?
The Hut, yeah.
What the hell is the Hut?
Yeah, the Hut's a restaurant. It's a dining and pub and restaurant.
And what are you doing there?
Serving and then assistant managering. And
for how long? How long are you there?
3 years.
3 years? Yeah. Living in Ravenshead. You're by yourself?
I'm living in the flat, in the apartment attached to the pub, like with the cook who works there.
You and the cook?
Yeah.
Living in the apartment that's attached to the Hut?
Yeah.
And what's the cook like? Man or woman?
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's he like?
He's cool. Yeah.
What's his name?
Gareth.
Gareth.
Yeah.
Okay. And is he a character? What? Tell us about
cool
Gareth.
Yeah. The flat was where everybody would hang out after the pub. Like the pub would be there, and the pub would close, everybody would go. Then you'd sit and have a few pints after work in the pub with everybody.
Right.
Then everybody'd go home, and then you go to the flat, and then everybody would come out. All the people would hang out at the flat too. So there's always like minimum 4 people there. And
you're there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so now you're what? 23?
21.
21.
Yeah.
3 years. But
no,
you
I
went
was
when
20.
You were 19.
I was 20.
20.
I moved to.
Now see, here we go. You're your father's son, because none of these are adding up. I understand what's going on here. We're on a trail. We're finding shit out. And now you got to lead us off. But you're 19 when you see Simon Duffy again, right?
Yeah.
And then you're there for 3 years.
Yeah. Well,
you're 22.
I was 18. I turned 19 in England.
Here we go.
Soon after I got there.
Now we're 18 and 19. I see.
I turned 19 and I lived there for 19
up.
and 20.
Uh-huh.
I moved back to Canada just before I turned 21.
just before you turned 21, you're back in Canada. Where are you moving?
I was going to go to Montreal to live with a friend, but the room got given away last minute. So I moved to Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Niagara-on-the-Lake by yourself?
No, where my family was.
To meet your family, who is now in Niagara-on-the-Lake. They've gone from the mountain down to Victoria. You went back to see Simon Duffy briefly and have an encounter. And now you're back in Canada meeting in Niagara-on-the-Lake, where, of course, your dad has been stationed to sell insurance again. We're going with that story? Is that what he's telling you? Son, I got moved again?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
That's pretty much it.
Okay. And so now you're back, Niagara-on-the-Lake, just turned 21 years old, and now what are you getting into?
Back in a restaurant.
And what?
Tetley's, it was a fondue restaurant.
Fondue restaurant?
Fondue and stone grill.
What a
big
bold
iron
move.
granite things that heat up to like 600 degrees and you cook the meat right on a plate.
What a bold decision to say, I want to start a fondue restaurant. I really want to zone in on this fondue everybody's talking about. So you're what, a server?
Yeah.
How do you serve fondue?
Server.
Carefully,
you carry
I
the
assume?
pot down the stairs. You have to come down the stairs like a big carpeted staircase with the giant pot of hot oil.
Oh, my Lord. How many times do you spill it?
Never.
Never.
I don't think.
Because you'd be burned like
I'll
horribly, right? Yeah. Okay. And so you're working at the fondue restaurant, living in Niagara-on-the-Lake, 21, and then where?
Then, moved to Niagara Falls eventually.
Why's that?
With
the family, or is this now you by yourself?
No, now I'm like with my brother.
Older? Younger, because
Yeah.
your only sister older, right?
Yeah.
So younger brother. Don't you? Is there twins? Did you mention twins? Mm-hmm. So is it one of the twins?
No.
No. Because do they travel together only?
No.
Do they live together now?
No.
Okay. And so you're with your other brother, who's younger than you by
3 years.
And now you're in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And now what are you doing there? This is after the fondue restaurant.
Yeah. Then I stopped working at the Rainforest Cafe.
And you're what did you call yourself?
Safari guide.
Safari guy.
Yeah.
So you wear a uniform?
Safari attire. Yeah, big.
And
got the epaulets.
I understand no hat.
No hat. No.
Which is like, when you think safari, I would feel like if you just wore normal clothes but put a hat on, people would be like, "Oh, we're going on a safari."
Hot as hell in that restaurant.
course.
Why the air conditioning is not
Well, it's
sufficient.
built like a fucking forest, right?
Yeah.
So, it doesn't look like it's very.
Yeah.
None of them look like, hey, it's nice and cool in here, you know. So you're safari guy serving, right, and leading people through the safari that is their meal.
Yes.
And no hat.
No hat.
Strange.
No.
And so, and how long are you at the Rainforest Cafe?
5 years.
5 years, leading up till you're what?
Last year I left.
Last year. And you're how old now?
33.
Unbelievable. Now, we're going to take a quick break, okay?
Okay.
We're going to take a very short break, and then I want to find out how stand-up comedy came into your life. But more than that, and I cannot stress this enough, I need to speak with your dad. He's a fucking spy, for sure. This episode of Leeson Learned is sponsored by the Big Fish Steak and Lounge in Sarnia, Ontario. One of my personal favorite restaurants in the world. I was going to say in the country, but no, in the world. They have some of the greatest food I have ever had. Every single time I eat there, I think to myself, it will never get better than what I have just eaten. And the next time I go back, they top it once again. It's that good. If you live in the Sarnia area, make sure you book your reservation for lunch or dinner, or hell, book your reservation for both right now. Do it tonight. What are you going to cook for dinner tonight? Probably something awful. Don't do that. Head on over to the Big Fish Steak and Lounge. If you don't live in Sarnia, I suggest you make a trip down just for the food, or if you're going to be in the area, stop in and have one of the greatest meals you will ever have. This episode is also sponsored by the Car Lot, etc. in Sudbury, Ontario, where they make buying your next vehicle very, very easy. Let's say you go online, you find a vehicle that you want to test drive, but you can't quite make it in, no problem at all. They will bring the vehicle to you so you can take that test drive right from your own home. They do have the largest used truck inventory in the north. They also have the best selection of cars, SUVs, and vans. If you're like me and your credit is, let's say, not great, that's no problem. They do have options for everyone. You can also trade in your vehicle. They offer the best trade-in value in the north. So head on over to the website, thecarlot.ca, and book a test drive right now. This episode of Leeson Learned is sponsored by Cookum's Secret and G's Carpet Cleaning and Services. For all your cleaning needs, contact G's Carpet Cleaning and Services, and for your personal well-being, contact Cookum's Secret Sonotherapy with Drumming at G2cleaningservice.com. I got a chance to actually go up to Timmins and take part in the sonotherapy and the drumming. It was extremely relaxing. I recommend it highly. Head on over to G2cleaningservice.com and book your time today, and make sure you get some cleaning done while you're there. This episode is also sponsored by Laughing Viking Studios in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Laughing Vikings is a digital media studio and live entertainment production company turning delusions into reality. Located in the heart of Toronto's TV and film district, the studio is the ideal home for creators, actors, podcasters, photographers, and filmmakers who need a convenient and flexible space to create. Book your studio time for self-tapes, podcasting, film shoots, photo shoots, casting sessions, workshops, and rehearsals, and ask about their memberships. Visit laughingvikings.com today. We're back here with David Green. Where did we leave off? You're working at the Rainforest Cafe. You're 20. What are you? 25 now? 24, somewhere in there. You're living with your brother, one of them, and you're living in Niagara Falls together. You're out of the insurance slash spy lifestyle. You've gotten out of that now. And where are your parents living, particularly your dad at this time?
They're in Niagara on the Lake still.
Still in Niagara on the Lake for an unprecedented, 4 years in a row. Yeah. So he's slowly getting out of the business at this point. Okay. And so you're working at the Rainforest Cafe. At what time or point around this time do you start doing stand-up comedy?
When I was 22.
22? Yeah. And where do you start that?
The House of Comedy.
In?
Niagara Falls.
The
first time I did it was in England before I left.
Where?
In Nottingham.
At a comedy club or just?
It was a competition.
At like a bar?
Yeah.
And how did that go?
I forgot a bunch of stuff, so I was annoyed about that, but it was very nerve-wracking. But afterwards, I ran into the MC, and he invited me to come back and do a show the next day. If that chance meeting wouldn't have happened, I probably wouldn't have done it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And who was the MC? Was he just a guy, or is he a comic?
Tony King.
Tony King is a
comedian in England.
Famous? Or
no, not famous, no, but working comedian.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so you go back the next night, and it goes better. Yeah, I assume. Yeah. And then, but you're 22.
Yeah. No, 21.
21.
No, just before I'm 20. Right, because I moved back. I had to move back to Canada before I turned 21.
Right.
Because my parents my whole family was getting permanent residency.
In Canada.
Yeah.
Now they've done their service. Yeah. They've done whatever they needed to do. Yeah. I understand. And so you try it. You go back the next night. Goes much better. Yeah. Are you hooked right then?
Yeah.
And so when do you do it again?
Not until I get back to Canada.
And why is that? Why not keep doing it there? Was there just no opportunity?
Chickened out. I got signed up for one, and then it was like a long way to get there, and then I got nervous and chickened out, and then I had nobody pushing me to go do it again.
Right. And so now you're coming back here, and now you're in Niagara, and you do it at the House of Comedy at 22 years old. Yeah. And how does that one go?
Okay. Again, not that well, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A couple of times I'd go and I'd chicken out again, and I'd be there, I'd sign up, and something came up, and I'd leave.
Are you doing the puns thing at this point?
Yeah, but not realizing I'm doing the puns thing. Just writing jokes that I've always written. I didn't realize people didn't do those types of jokes over here.
Right. And so you're 22 now, doing it at the House Comedy, and then when do you do it again after, or does it become regular at that point?
It became a little bit regular, but we didn't have it that often.
Right.
But then I ran into somebody at the mall who's going to the movie. We ended up going to the same movie, who saw me there too. And he goes to Hamilton to an open mic, so we started going to Hamilton a few times a week because there's open mics over there that you can perform at.
And so now you're kind of in it.
Yeah.
And what is your sort of style, I guess, at that time? Like you're kind of doing the puns, but you're not sure?
It's still jokes I was doing then, I'm still doing now. So.
Right. Okay. And so as you're doing this, you're working. Is this when you're working at the Rainforest?
Different restaurants when I first.
Different restaurants and doing this. And then when do you realize, like, hey, I actually want to do this full time?
That was the goal. Getting into it, I'm allowed to get into it, and then by the time I'm 25, I'll be living in New York City, and I'll be doing this, and that's what I'll do, and I'll get a van, and I'll travel around. So that was the plan at the time.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
And what happened to that plan?
I don't know, things, life and working, and but we're still doing shows, and I did a couple of tours with people, but just never came up to take that leap to do it.
Right. And so when I know you're working at the Rainforest Cafe, where you met what would become your wife.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so now how long have you guys been together?
It'll be a 1-year wedding anniversary coming up soon.
And how long dating before the marriage happened?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Are you doing stand-up when you met her? Yeah. But you meet her at regular work. Does she know you do stand-up?
No.
At that time?
No.
No idea?
No, I didn't know she was a teacher either.
Right. She just knows you as Safari Guy David Green.
Yeah.
And you guys hit it off at work, or how does that?
No, we were friends for a long time.
Friends for a while.
Yeah.
At work.
Yeah.
And do you hang out outside of work as
Not
buddies?
Not really, but then we all started to go and play like laser tag in groups, like a bunch of people, and then playing soccer, and then just doing that for a couple. Yeah.
And so you're doing that, and then what? Like one day somebody's hand touches a leg or something like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I'm looking at this Safari boy a lot differently.
Well,
is that how it happens? And when does she find out that you are also doing stand-up comedy?
Well, pretty much from when she starts working. Yeah, once we start working together.
So you're not working together at first. No, you met at work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
but
she
once
finds
we meet,
out right away.
Yeah.
And you find out she's a teacher.
Yeah.
Which is much different than finding out somebody does comedy.
Yeah.
It's like somebody telling you, hey, by the way, when I'm not here, I make money. And then you say, by the way, when I'm not here, I pay money to go try to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Very different. And so how do you start dating at work? Is it something you have to keep hidden, or how does that work?
We didn't have to keep it hidden, but it was just how in restaurants, especially huge restaurants with like 80 employees, it's all a little soap opera and everything. Just would have been if you started a relationship, like all that distraction of the drama and rumors, everything going around. Like,
and do people start asking questions? They start saying, "Hey, I noticed you're looking at the Safari Guy a lot differently." And
nobody knew anything.
No, nobody's on to you. Nobody's wise to it. No. You're going out, you're playing the laser tag. Nobody's thinking, "Well, these two are obviously together." No, keeping it hidden. And how do you break the news to everybody?
I'm not sure. It was I think it just told one person told another, and
which is how it works, I guess, in a restaurant setting. One person, and then everybody finds out. And how long do you date before you pop the question?
Like a year and a half, probably.
A year and a half of dating. Okay, she's a teacher at this time, and so when do you? She's a teacher. You're a comedian, but you're both working at the Rainforest Cafe, and then are you still working there when the engagement happens? Yes. Okay. Did your people, fellow colleagues, know you were going to do it?
No.
Okay. Interesting. How did you do it? What was your proposal?
Went to Toronto. Went to see Shrek the musical.
Yeah.
And then went to the Christmas market of a distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around Christmas time. And then then when we got home.
You did it when you got home?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Did you live together?
Yeah.
Wow. So you go all the way to Toronto from Niagara?
Yeah.
You do the whole night. You drive home?
Yeah.
And then you do
I
it.
almost did it a couple of times in Toronto, but it wasn't the right note. I was like, do it now, and then I was like, no. I just
So
knew
you
it
had
wasn't.
the ring with you.
Yeah.
Was the plan to do it somewhere else?
Yeah, in Toronto. Yeah.
Where did you think I'm going to do it?
I didn't know. I just knew that.
Didn't plan a place or a time. Just thought I'll let the moment. On the drive home, are you quiet, thinking "fuck me, I haven't done this yet. What's wrong with me?" Or are you just planning it for as soon as you get home?
Yeah.
When did you know I'm doing this when we get home?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, but it wasn't like nervous or anything.
But when did that come into your head? When did you know 100%? I'm not doing this here. I'm doing it at home.
I don't know. Maybe on the way. Yeah, just. It was all very rushed when we were because we were going to get to the theatre and we got there like 10 minutes before it started, and then we're at the wrong theatre, and it's night is almost ruined. We're not even going to see the show, and it's like nightmare. But quickly speed across town, then just get there literally as it's starting, like just before they're closing the door.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow, romantic.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so when you get home, right? You live together. Mm-hmm. How long had you lived together? How long were you dating before you lived together?
A year and a bit.
Year and a bit. How long are you living together before you propose?
A few months.
Oh shit! So you knew.
Yeah.
Because I think living together is the test, right? Can we get along here?
Yeah.
So you knew, like, yeah, I can do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you get home, right? You live in the same place. How long after you get home do you do it?
Oh, before we even get in, like underneath the light at the door. Before we're going to the house.
You're living in a house at this time.
Yeah.
Just two of you live in the house, so you got roommates?
Yeah.
No, just two of you. So you're not even inside the door, and you think I can't wait anymore. And did you do the whole one knee thing? And what did you say? What were your? Did you have like a thing? Did you have a speech? Did you know what you were gonna say, or was it just?
No, I had the Ed Sheeran Perfect song queued up on my phone.
Come on.
Yeah, but it was like I didn't know because I'm in the car doing it and planning it, and I just put it to a certain part. But when I pressed play, it was like literally the perfect part of the song where it like should be. So that was pretty cool.
What the fuck? So you're walking up to the door. She thinks everything's normal.
Yeah.
And then what? You hit the play button, or are you? When does the play button come in? Are you getting down? Are you on one knee and then play, or are you pressing play?
Play first, yeah.
So is she like, "Hey, something? Your phone's going off," or like, what's she thinking at this time?
I don't know. She's tired.
She's tired.
Yeah.
She's tired.
Yeah.
So what? She's annoyed.
No, but she's like, well, it's surprising, I'm guessing.
Right. So your phone starts playing Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
And she's thinking, hey, man, can we get the fucking key in the door here? I'm exhausted. We've gone to the wrong theater. We've been all over Toronto. You drove home, for Christ's sakes. What the hell? And now you got Ed Sheeran playing on your thing. Is she an Ed Sheeran fan?
Yeah, well, that's like our song.
That's your song. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
By Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Because your love is perfect? Is that why?
That's it.
How did that become your song?
I don't know. It just happened.
Just happened.
Yeah.
You don't know how any of this shit happened. I love it. Most of your answers are like, I don't know, man. All of a sudden, I was on stage. Next thing you know, Simon Duffy's gone. I don't know what happened. I was going to do it in Toronto, and the next thing you know, I'm playing Ed fucking Sheeran on my porch. So, so you get down on the one knee. The song is playing. Do you pause the song? Or do you let it play?
No, yes.
Song's playing in the background. Yeah. You come in with whatever you want to say. Do you have a whole speech planned?
No. Well,
do you talk about your history at all? Do you talk about nothing?
No.
It's just, baby, I know you're tired. Which is never the best way to start a proposal. Look, I know you're tired. I'm going to make this quick. I'd love to spend the rest of my life with you. And she's thinking, has it not been the rest of our lives? This is the longest fucking night ever. I feel like we're 85 already. Yeah. And so she says, what does she say? I'm exhausted. Can we do this tomorrow?
No, thankfully not, no.
She says yes.
Yeah, she does.
What's her reaction? Shock? Is she like, oh my God? Or was it one of these things? Because I've seen like couples, they talk about it. They're like, you're going to get me this ring and it's blah, blah, blah. Like, was it like, okay, buddy, it's been long enough. When the fuck is this happening? Let's go. Or is this like, oh my God, I never even thought this would happen?
No, we both knew it was. Yeah.
You both knew. And so this is just going through the motions at this point.
Not going through the motions, but no, it was not shocking, but surprising.
Nobody's shocked.
No.
Nobody's like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And so, is she crying? Are you crying?
No.
Nobody's crying.
No.
She British also?
No.
So nobody's crying. Nobody's showing any emotion of any kind other than exhaustion.
Yeah.
Right? And so now you're down on your knee. You got Ed Sheeran playing. You say the words that you don't remember. She says yes or I do, or how does that work?
She says
what
yes.
do you say? Will you marry me? Will you spend the rest of your life with me?
I think will you marry me?
Will you marry me? She says
yes.
Hesitantly?
No.
Or like, oh, yes.
There was a pause.
And then when do you get up?
Eventually.
After the yes?
Yeah.
She says yes, and then you get up?
Yeah.
When is the song still playing?
I think so, yeah.
And where is the phone? Is it just in your
pocket?
pocket?
In my pocket?
Is it muffled?
I think so.
Or can you hear it perfectly?
And you can, hear it
You can hear it perfectly.
Yeah.
There's no muffled things going on.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a ringtone.
Yeah.
So now you're down, you say yes, now you're up. The thing is still going, the song.
Yeah.
When do you shut the song?
I think after that.
After that,
after the moment. Yeah.
And then you go inside.
Yeah.
Now, are you both like, what's the mood here? Are you both like, or are you both still tired? Or is it like, oh my God, we're engaged, now we're going to have a night? Go inside, crack a bottle of wine? What happens?
No, it was tired. It was time for bed.
Did you go inside and go to bed?
Eventually.
What did you do when you went inside? Did you hang out?
I'm not sure. No.
Did you make love at least? Was there love making after the? There's got to be, right? You're engaged, for Christ's sake.
But that's once you cross the threshold. It's behind closed doors. So.
What? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. But now you're engaged. So. But you don't stay up. You don't stay up talking like, oh my God, are we really doing this? There's none of that. Just we got to go to bed.
Oh, she had to teach in the morning too.
She had to teach. This is a fucking school night.
Yeah.
You did it on
actually,
school
no,
night.
maybe not. I don't remember that actually. Yeah.
Wow.
It was in December, definitely.
But you don't remember if she somewhere she had to be. You're not sure.
No.
What do you do the next day? Do you call people? How do you let people know?
I go to work. I go to the Rainforest Cafe.
With her?
No.
She doesn't work there at this time.
She does, but not that day.
Not on the same day.
Yeah.
You don't call your family. Do your family know you did it?
No, I tell my parents, yeah.
Right.
My brother, yeah.
But you tell your brother, and he has to get it somehow to your dad because you can't contact him directly.
Yeah. No, I can, yeah.
Right.
But my brother was the first one I told.
You can contact him directly, but you have to go through a few steps. Yeah. So you tell your brother, you say, hey, if you don't mind, somehow get a hawk or something to take this to Dad. Well, let him know I'm engaged. Is anybody excited? Is there any excitement of any kind?
Everybody's excited.
When you wake up the next day, once you've got your rest in and you're both rested, do you wake up and have this like passionate moment? Holy shit, for the rest of our lives, this is us? Or do you just wake up and go, I'll see you later?
No. Well, to me, it was like, I don't know, since we've been together, it's always been the same. Like, nothing changed from when we got not engaged to engaged to married. It's always been just how we are.
Right. No emotion.
No, there's lots of emotion.
Happy?
Yeah, very happy.
Were you both happy?
Very happy.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how long after the engagement do you get married?
Like 9 months.
9 months later, you're fucking married. That has nothing to do with the pregnancy, though. No. Just happened to be 9 months. Children? No children. No. No previous children from anything else. You have no children to concern yourself with right now.
Nephews and nieces.
And is that something you're looking at in the future? Do you want that?
Eventually.
You do want that eventually, but not right. How old are you?
33.
33. Yeah. So, and your wife is
32.
32. See, you got plenty of time. That's great. And so now you're married. You're working at the Rainforest Cafe when you first get married, or no?
No, I left before.
You left before that too.
To be a comedian.
Full-time comedian, booking shows. I know you do a radio show. You have a television show. You do stand-up comedy. You do live ghost walk tours. I mean, you're a hustler. Like, a lot of people, they quit their quote-unquote job, whatever they're doing, to try to pursue entertainment, and they think, well, I'm just going to do comedy or I'm just going to do whatever. They start doing it not realizing there's an element to it where you actually have to work. Mm-hmm. But here's a guy that I've always admired about you. It's why I wanted to have you on here, because I respect the hustle. I respect the fact that you're doing all these different things. You've got all these different avenues that you're doing. You've got doors that can open up to you in all kinds of ways. You could get a radio job, you get a TV hosting job, you'd be a fucking stand-up comedian, a warm-up guy for a TV show, whatever it is, right?
It's called always one thing leads to something else too.
Exactly, which is great. And so, but what I'm always curious about, especially when people are married or are like life together, is did this cause any issues relationship-wise? To say, hey, I'm going to attempt to do this entertainment thing full time, which is very difficult. And to be perfectly clear and honest, and I'm sure you know this, people that aren't in this they can't really understand, like, how do you do that without a guaranteed paycheck and you don't know when your next money is coming from and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't understand that, and I think that ruins a lot of relationships, like a lot. And I'm always curious because it doesn't ruin all of them, and I'm always curious to know when it doesn't. So did that affect anything for you guys at all?
No, she was encouraging of it and like giving the push to that's what I should be doing.
Right. And so is there any thing about it now, because you've been together so long, and you've been now a year doing it full time, pretty much? Over a year? Is there anything she thought, this I didn't expect this part of it when I said go do it?
No, I don't think I think she knew what she was expecting, and she knows that it's a long-term progressional thing, like how it is now is not eventually what it could lead to. What
is your dream? What's the biggest goal for you? What would you love to dream?
Be able to do exactly what I'm doing, but be able to help pay and support my family, and not just me, but my family too, and
Family meaning brothers, sisters.
Oh, and a wife and kids eventually.
Wife, children, right? Meaning everybody, like all of them, or just your family, wife and children.
Yeah.
Right.
No, well, everybody.
Or are you sending money to your dad? I'm trying to figure out how your dad fits into all this.
He'll tell you all about it when he comes on.
And where's your father currently located?
In Niagara Falls.
He's in Niagara Falls.
He's visiting my brother and nephew right now.
He's visiting?
Yeah.
Well, okay, but where does he live? Can't say, can you? You can't. You're not at liberty to tell me. Even if you tell me, it's probably not where he lives, right?
New Zealand.
Does he?
No.
Well, listen, first of all, before we wrap things up here, where can people find you? What's your social media? What's going on?
Website, davidgreencomedy.com. Instagram, davidgreencomic. And GardenCityComedyFestival.com.
Well, this has been great, man.
Thanks, buddy. This is fun.
I'm really glad that I got to learn this much about you, because we've known each other a couple years, but never really had a chance to find out all this shit. And I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that you grew up in England and stuff, but I didn't know what to expect. But to see you come here and know that you got ripped from Simon Duffy's life to go to Spain while your dad wrote a book, and then obviously is not what he says he is, and it just the whirlwind of life from there on, from school to homeschooled to back to school, out to a fucking mountain, down, but then you move back to see Simon Duffy, who snubs you for no reason at all, like some kind of asshole, right? And then you live there with some cook named Gary for a little while in a hut next to a hut or whatever, and you finally move back to Canada. You work at the Rainforest Cafe doing safaris with no fucking hat, and then all of a sudden you meet the love of your life. You guys go on this whirlwind romance that nobody can really remember. You tried to fucking propose in Toronto. It didn't work out. You went home. You're playing Ed Sheeran, and everybody's tired and exhausted. You go to bed. Nobody talks about it. because the son of a spy is not allowed to talk about anything. And then here we are today. You got a radio show, a TV show, stand-up shit that you're doing. Oh, buddy, it was really a pleasure to have you
buddy.
here.
That was fun.
We really opened up a fucking can of worms here, man. Let's have you on again next time. Bring your
I'll
dad.
bring my dad, yeah.
I want you to bring your wife. I want to get the whole family in here because I got questions for every one of them. But if you get a chance, go check out David Green. If he's performing somewhere near you, check out his website. Follow him on all the social stuff. David Green, thanks so much, man.
Thanks, buddy.
And there we go. Huge thank you to my guest this week, David Green, for being here. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He also has, I believe, well over 1 million views right now on TikTok. So make sure you follow him there. He puts out, I think, a video a week or maybe 2 videos a week. But they're always hilarious. He is, in my opinion, this guy, one of the hardest working comedians in Canada right now. He's always doing something, always staying busy, and especially in last year with the year that we had, it was a tough year, but he found a way to keep moving forward. And I've always respected him and admired him and always loved working with him. If and when you get a chance as well, go and see him live. He is a terrific stand-up comedian. But once again, a huge thanks to David Green. And thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube. Thank you for listening to this wherever you get your podcasts. Please feel free to share these episodes. But anyways, thank you guys so much. We have had so much fun bringing these podcasts to you and really appreciate all the support we have gotten so far. Thank you guys very much, and we will see you next week.